Hello, I am Test Drive, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play. This time around, we are continuing our way through the Ford racing games, or Ford branded games from the early to late 2000s, technically. And, obviously, our next one in the lineup, aka the one that came out the next, is none other than Ford Mustang. Sometimes known as The Legend Lives, stuff like that. And we are going to be playing through this game 100%. 100%. Can I actually put my full name in here? Nope. Okay. Let's do that. And I am playing the PlayStation 2 version because I own it, and I wanted to use real hardware, and somehow the PS2 version of this game has more widescreen support than the Xbox version. I don't understand it. Like, nothing in the menus is actually widescreen on the Xbox, I believe, but it actually does have widescreen menu stuff. So we'll first off go to our options here. We can change our controls, but we're gonna change the sound. I don't expect this music to get me copyrighted. I probably don't want surround sound either, because I don't think I'm not using surround sound. I'm just using a normal set of headphones, so we will just go ahead and go down the stereo on that. And we can change the controls. Default gearbox will be manual. Gear down, L2, R2. There is actually configuration to have the L2 and R2 buttons as accelerate and brake, which is weird because most PS2 games didn't do that at all, unless you were able to like set a completely custom configuration, which most games weren't. But I'm gonna stick with the tried and true PS2 layout of X for accelerate and square for brake and reverse. Sound I already went through. We can adjust the screen, which is just adjusting like where it is, which I already have it like perfectly set up. We will enable autosave. It is already enabled. And we have our progress here to show us what we are up against for this Let's Play. So, we are going to be going into the single player mode, of course. We got a nice announcer that announces everything as we click on it, which is fantastic. And we have a couple of modes here. We have career mode, challenge mode, and arcade mode. And I don't really know how to like go through this technically, because like you can just literally start anywhere, challenge mode, arcade mode, or career mode, but I am going to be starting out with arcade mode, then we will head to challenge mode after that, and then finally we'll end up finishing off the career mode finally at the end. Arcade. That was a lot of words I didn't mean to press. We do a quick race, which literally is just like, here, pick a car, pick a track, race. Not exactly what we're trying to do because we need to actually have progression. So, here's where our progression actually starts. We have a time attack mode and an eliminator mode, and we will be doing the time attack mode to start off. And there is an amateur and professional, I guess, difficulty. I don't know if they're actually more difficult. It's just whichever one you want to do. We have to do the amateur one first because the professional one is locked. So, we will select the amateur one. And while this loads in, I want to mention something. This may look pretty good for a PlayStation 2 game. No, I'm not playing in an emulator. This is actually coming from a real PlayStation 2 through
Racing past Central Park and along Broadway.
Whoa.
The circuit is fast with tight 90-degree corners and long straights. This is one fast-paced city.
Whoa. We're going to get a nice little introduction to all of the tracks as well from the announcer. But I am running from a PlayStation 2, a real PlayStation 2, the one I used to play through Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2, not High Stakes. I don't know if I said High Stakes. But Hot Pursuit 2, and oh, I didn't select manual apparently for the transmission. That's cool, whatever. But also in this setup, I have none other than a Retrotink 5X, which if you are not in the know about like upscalers and things like that for old game systems and just like lower quality stuff in general, like even VCRs and stuff, you can use this stuff with it. The Retrotink 5X is a fairly expensive, but also very good upscaler for older game consoles. up to the HD era. Because HD era doesn't really need it because they already have HDMI output and they already have 1080p, 720p resolutions, blah, blah, blah. Maybe a Wii, because the Wii wasn't really HD, even though it was a part of the HD generation. But I have the Retrotink 5X hooked up, and it is currently upscaling the PlayStation 2 that you are seeing. So, I wanted to use it. I haven't actually used it really yet for any videos, because I haven't really had an opportunity to. So, hence why I'm kind of wanted to do something on like PS2 or Xbox, like actual hardware, for this next Let's Play. And speaking of Let's Plays, GTA 3 will be back at some point. I might just kind of put it alongside stuff like this. I'm not really entirely sure. I still need to get a new mouse and keyboard because I still am having major issues with tracking on my mouse, and I can't really use that for gaming because I will literally not be able to play the game hardly because my mouse will just stop working halfway through it. Or not really stop working, but just not continue tracking. And, you know, and especially in a game like GTA, I kind of need some precision on my mouse. But that's why I figured that we could also start something like this, because this game will be pretty short. I don't know if the time will necessarily be short, but it's only going to be like 8 episodes because we're going to do the whole time attack section, or the whole amateur section of the time attack for this first episode. And then we'll do the whole professional, and then basically 1 episode per difficulty level of each thing that has difficulty levels, because I think the challenge series doesn't actually have difficulty levels. It only has just the slalom and the time attack, because there's like time attack and time trial. I don't know. But we have almost finished our first race here. We basically just get more time each time we pass a checkpoint. Or actually not done, I lied. I thought that was the finish line, but apparently I'm on lap 3 now. But basically you just get more time once you pass checkpoints. You just gotta go fast and not let the time run out, and then you will win. That's a lot of talking. I think this is the finish line, isn't it? Yeah. Congratulations. There we go. We do get style points, which add up to unlock cars, tracks. I actually don't remember. It's been a minute since I played this game, but I'm not too worried about it. We get a replay here at the end of our race. It's always kind of nice. We are inline 6 powered Mustang, not a V8 Mustang. You can tell by the sound. This game also has a very eclectic collection of Mustangs in it, as we'll see throughout this Let's Play. We will be using various different cars, of course, especially because it puts us in a car automatically for these.
Los Angeles. You're racing through Santa Monica and downtown, so get ready for high-speed curves and long straights.
Whoa.
The LA track is the California dream made real.
Wacky. So yeah, we literally just went across the country. We went from New York to LA.
Round 2.
Gumball. Ooh, SVO. As I said, very eclectic selection of cars in this game. So let's continue on with our second event here, and go. I think even the heads-up display is more widescreen appropriate in this game on PS2 than Xbox. I actually don't understand how this game has better support for widescreen on PS2, because PS2, like stuff like Midnight Club 3 doesn't have a widescreen mode on PS2. You have to hack it in on an emulator, nonetheless. So this is very late into the PS2's life, even though we'll still be playing more PS2 games, or games that released on the PS2 after this, that came out for the Ford series. So we're not quite done yet, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I also am kind of glad to be back on the PS2. I've been wanting to do something on the PS2 for a while now, and I just didn't really know what to do. But I was trying to think, I was like, what can I do for a Let's Play? I was like, do I want to do something short? Do something long? Doesn't really matter at the moment. Didn't really have a preference. But then I was like, oh, I could continue on with Mustang. I've been wanting to play through it for a while. And I tested on the Xbox simulator, and it was kind of crap. Well, it wasn't really crap, but the frame rate did have its struggles pretty bad. Oh, I got a disco notification. But, yeah, I just kind of randomly was like, hey, I want to try the PS2 version. And it turns out that it actually kind of is better than the Xbox version. So that was my entire brain process of why I was going to Let's Play this game. One thing you'll really notice with the Retrotink 5X2 is that the interlacing of PS2 games, because this is only a 480i game, it's not 480p, the interlacing is pretty much non-existent because of really good, not de-anti-aliasing, but I guess, I forget what de-interlacing? Maybe that's what it is, I don't know. But it is very good on the Retrotink, so another huge bonus to having that now, and also doing PS2 games. Even though there is still a little bit of quality you can get out of getting a progressive scan game instead of an interlaced one, but this will work very well for what I do, at least, or what I'm going to do. And we'll pretty much leave it at that. I'm finally getting to test it. Also, these component cables I'm using are not very... Well, they're not like they're bad, but they're like super cheap component cables I found at a local retro game store. Like, just some cheap new ones. And they're actually... Like, I haven't really noticed anything on the screen that would make me think that they're not good, so... There's a little bit of audio buzzing that you might hear in the very, very quiet parts, like when there's no music or something. Probably not, because it's super quiet and I could barely hear it with my volume all the way up. So, they're not bad. Not bad at all. I'm honestly impressed for, I think I spent $10 on them? I don't remember. I would like to snatch a good set, like a really good set of component cables, but this will work for now. And I have no qualms with it. Because then I used to, like, I had old component cables from my Xbox years and years and years ago that were not very good, and there was tons of noise, and they just didn't really look that good. So this is a lot better than those, for sure. Oh god. I should also mention, for some reason, we can go to options and go to progress within a race in this game. I don't really know why, but interesting thing. I'll have to get a thumbnail at some point. Maybe I'll just get a thumbnail of this. I didn't actually make a separate scene in OBS for not having my webcam on, so I guess I'll have to turn it off manually, off and on, which is fine. I always cut out replays anyways, so there we go. That is that. We got another 820 style points, which of course you get from sliding and passing people and just all the general knowledge of how those points work, like in other games. So I will be back in a second. Alright, and we shall continue on with our time attack series, because it's basically just like, hey, do all these in a row. If you screw up, you lose. So that's as simple as the time attacks get.
Welcome to San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Racing in the shadow of the Golden Gate Bridge. Watch for fast straights, downhill racing, and tight corners.
Wow. So now we're still in California, but we are in San Fran instead of LA. Just a lot of generic places in this game. Nothing that really stands out like crazy. Oh, it's the final round. And we have a 99 Mustang GT 35th Anniversary Edition, which is pretty cool. Leg out! Didn't I set the automatic, or the transmission to automatically switch to manual? I don't know. Doesn't matter, I guess. I do see some little lines going up and down on the screen, but I think that might be like the post-processing of this game doing that. Because it's not supposed to be upscaled this much, or like seen this well. I don't know. I'll play around with it maybe. We'll see what if we can get some better quality in the later episodes. Also, the soundtrack of this game is actually pretty good for being a very not AAA game. A very budget-y game. This game is actually just really solid in general for being a pretty low-budget game. Like, it's got a good selection of Mustangs, like, and that's the gimmick of the game, you know? You're not going to expect all kinds of crazy different cars because that's just not what this game is. But the selection of Mustangs is really good. The physics actually aren't too bad. If you've ever played Street Racing Syndicate, SRS, it's basically a reskinned version of this game, or vice versa, depending on which way you look at it. I actually haven't played SRS yet. I have it. I've never played it, but someday I will. But I played this game a lot, and I have to say the physics actually just aren't bad. That's one thing that even though we switched over to Vtuber for the developer of this game from Gotham Games, I think was the one who developed Ford Racing 2 and 3. I don't remember. Still a solid game. Like, all these Ford Racing games are actually surprisingly solid for, like I said, being pretty low budget. I gotta give him props for that. Oh shit. Oh no, my points. I lost them. Damn it. Go.
Final lap.
It's the final lap. I love announcers in video games, honestly. Some people get really tired of them really quickly, but I always like them. Maybe it's because I have fond memories of like this game and the Ford Racing games, the earlier Ford Racing games. I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid. I don't know. Probably both. Give me more points. Yeah, jump drift. Let's go. Oh, and also I think another game that Vtuber made that is actually pretty similar to this game and like how it handles and stuff. I think the Fast and the Furious game that came out around this time, what was it, the Tokyo Drift game, I guess it was? There's like a few games that Vtuber just kind of like reskinned, basically. Because they have the point system, they all have the same kind of physics. But, I don't know. I'm not that mad about it. Uh-oh. Go, go, go. 2, 1. Oh, I made it barely.
Congratulations.
Wow, that was close. Got another 890 points, 2,480 total. I don't know if we actually... Oh, you completed Time Attack Amateur. Very nice.
New series unlocked.
We got the Time Attack Pro Series unlocked. And that appears to be it. I don't think we actually unlock any cars from this, sadly. Even though we're not really worrying about it because
3, 2, 1.
I'm not using cars I haven't unlocked anyways. It's just whatever cars the game gives me. But that's fine. This also has a little different like loading thing in the top right of the screen there. I don't think the Xbox version has that. So there we go. We have the professional Time Attack series unlocked. Time Attack, yeah. So we will probably be going on to that in the next episode. Just because. But for now, that will conclude this episode, this first episode of Ford Mustang. Hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll be back with another episode soon. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.